Hi, this is Josh Hinds. I want to share just a quick technique. Many of you know that my book's called It's Your Life, Live Big. And one of the things I like to let everybody know is when I talk about what it means to live big, sometimes people miss the point of the way that I say a person is living big if they are living by choice more often than they are chance. And basically what that means is most of us, if we'll acknowledge it, sort of run through life not really on purpose, not really doing the things, maybe we have a bigger goal or we have bigger aspirations and we know what we want to see show up in our life, but our day-to-day actions, the things that we're spending our time on, are not necessarily things that are going to get us to where it is that we'd like to go, or the goals that we've written down, or the aspirations that we have for our own life. And so along those lines, what I say is really one of the ways to feel more fulfilled in our day-to-day life is to make sure that we're doing things that actually support and will help us get to those things that we've written down, to what we want to see show up in our life. And so what I'm going to do today is just share a really simple technique. I'm sure somebody's going to listen to this and they're going to say, oh, that's just the silliest thing I've ever heard. And that's okay if that's where you're coming from. But it actually is a really neat technique. I think it helps for a number of reasons. One of the things it does is it's very focused on making you identify actions that will get you to whatever it is that you believe is important, whatever you want to see show up in your life. It will support you in that effort and make sure that those things do appear. Okay? Because you'll be taking actions that will get you where you want to see, where you want. And the other thing is, it creates a really cool validation source for those days, when we all need to pick me up. Maybe we're just going through the motions of life, and then at the end of the day, I'm sure you can maybe you can identify with this. At the end of the day, somebody says, "Hey, what all did you get done?" And this is something that I have friends that laugh at me because as focused as I am, as much as I have things written down specifically, sometimes what I'll do is I'll say, oh, I can't even get detailed because unless I take the time to go back and look at my list of accomplishments, because I'm just so focused on getting things done. And so along that line, what this little simple technique I'm going to share, really what it does is it allows you to go back and look at what you might call your metrics or your numbers, the things that need to be done in order to get you to the place that you want to see show up in your life, to get you the results that you're after. And it's really neat, the effects that it can have on you when you take the time to do this. Okay? And it's not something that you do once and can hope to get great results off of. It really is something that you want to introduce in your life. It's easy to do. So without further ado, here we go. So first off, here are these 3x5 index cards. If you've read my book, It's Your Life, Live Big, I'm big on 3x5 index cards. You get the goal card system and all that. It works. I like 3x5 index cards because they're just handy. You really almost have to work not to keep them nearby. And let's don't forget the saying, if you want to get things done, if you want to have a sense of accomplishment, you're going to have to keep those things nearby. And the things that we keep nearby in our mind, in our frame of reference, tend to get done more often than not. If you got to replay the video, catch that because it's important. So with that said, basically I've got my 3x5 index cards. You can see I'm not going to read all these things to you, but you can see these are boxes. I actually go as far as to create a box next to what the item is, the action step that I need to get done, and I'll check it off. And then the cool thing is, and these are daily things, so as I get things done, I get to the end of the day, I'll put the date on the front. And here's the real catcher, and this is a very simple exercise that will make a big difference. This is my box of wins. Yes, it sounds silly, I know, but it's a box of wins. It's a box of wins because guess what? It says wins, and you can choose to put the smiley face or not. That's completely up to you. But once I get my accomplishments done, instead of just throwing them away, This is where the validation thing comes in. I open the box up, and of course, this is just an example, but you have a couple. And then I've got all these things that I've gotten done. I put them on front and back, what have you. And as I get them done, I put them back in there. And the really cool thing about it is, then it becomes very, very easy at the end of the week, at the end of the day, whenever I want to do it, to go back and track my progress. Or what I'll often do is it makes it really easy at the end of the day, whenever I'm talking to somebody in accountability, getting some accountability on what I did, you know, did I have a good day, what have you, they might say, what all did you get done today? And I say, so glad you asked, because let me tell you. And I just go to my box of wins, pop it out, pull the dates card out, and I can sit there and read it. And the really cool, and it does a lot, has a great effect. But one of the neat things about it is it will allow you to reconnect with that sense of accomplishment that maybe as you were getting these things done and you were just running through the motions, that you didn't necessarily take the time to be proud of yourself, to give yourself that pat on the back that you deserved. Okay, that's really important. Again, I talk about that in the book. You know, taking the time to connect and reconnect with your past achievements is really important for a whole lot of reasons. One of the keys is it becomes the fuel that we use to move us towards future achievements, towards future accomplishments. You know, think about it this way. It's very easy to be inspired and excited to take an action on something if you met with success in it before. It's kind of like the snowball effect. And it's the same way if you had a bad experience or negative experience and you just feel bad about a situation, it's going to be that much more difficult to go back to it and spend time in it. Okay, so very important. So hopefully this is, you know, a real simple exercise. Remember, use your 3x5 index cards, track your actions, and then create your own little box of wins. If you don't have a box handy, you could do an envelope. just designate that. And the most important thing is go back and use what you learn. The cool thing about it is when I go back into my cards and I take the time to look at them, I can really see what was working. And I can also figure out if I happen to be in a time where I don't feel like I'm productive or what have you, maybe I'm not, I can go back and see what I need to be doing. And so I can fill those things back in. And again, some of the things on mine are, you know, campaigns that I have going on, sending out the newsletter, a number of different things. And as I go back over them, it keeps me on focus. So hopefully this was helpful. You may want to go back and watch the video again just to kind of catch some of the things we talked about. Again, hopefully you found it helpful. Remember, it's your life. Live big.